Today I'm going to talk to you about word problems. Hello. A lot of people tell me that word problems are some of the most challenging things they come across in math, both when I took math in high school, when I talked to my brother about his math classes, the math classes I'm taking now. Everyone seems to have some kind of contention with word problems. And so why is that? Why are word problems so confusing to people? I think it's because word problems ask you to go from English, which is a very convoluted and big language where you can say things multiple ways, and you have to break it down into math. So you have to translate from English to math. And that's what makes word problems so challenging. So I have some examples of word problems down here, and you can see you have a paragraph of text, but out of that you've got to pull the important math parts so you can solve the problem. And word problems don't just go away after school. Every kind of math you do in the future, outside of a classroom setting, is a word problem. If you want to create something and you need to know information about it in numbers, then you've got to solve that in terms of a word problem. So word problems are very important, but they're also kind of confusing because they're not phrased in the usual math language that we like to hear them in. So in order to take care of that, there's some steps we can take to make solving word problems easier. The first step is to pull all the numbers out of a word problem. So if we look down at this one, you can see the number $20 for groceries, or 2 cartons of eggs, $6. So you can just take all this number data, because we know numbers will end up in the math at some point, right? Because math is about numbers. So we pull all of those numbers out. And we have to make sure that we label them with an equation. So we say maybe the number of eggs is 2, because we have 2 cartons, egg cartons. Let's fix that. So things like this, where you label all of your variables in the word problem. The next step, once you've done that, is to build some kind of equation out of the words in the word problem. And so these words come up between the numbers that you see in the word problem. So ask you to pick up 2 cartons of eggs and 2 boxes of cereal and a watermelon. So those ands tell us that we're trying to use addition. And we have to be really careful with word problems, what kind of sign we want to put in between the numbers we're using. So do we want to use plus, minus, times, or divide? And it'll vary from case to case. And so we build some kind of formula here that we can do things to the numbers with. And then in the third step, we plug in the numbers into the formula and solve. And that's pretty straightforward as long as you've identified what things go into the formula and what the formula is. It should be pretty easy at the end to just stick numbers in and get a good answer out. And so we have this little mnemonic device to help remember that. It goes like this. Word problems look easy compared to quantum. Just find the numbers in the problem and label them with equal signs. This line makes it rhyme. Build a formula with variables in it, plug in and solve. It just takes a few minutes.
Yay.
So, thank you. So I hope that helps in the future with word problem troubles you might have. You can just suck the numbers out, find some way to put the numbers back together using math, times, divide, plus or minus, and then you should have an answer by the end that fits nicely with the problem. Do you have any questions? No? Okay, all right.
Yay.